Family, I want you to take a deep breath with me. Just breathe, because what we're about to lean into is sacred. We're stepping into a conversation that doesn't just tickle the mind, it awakens the soul. And I want you to hear this not just with your ears, but with your spirit. There's a reason you're here. There's a reason you even have the audacity to dream. The reason you sometimes get frustrated with your life isn't because you're ungrateful. It's because something deep within you knows you were created for more, and that is the power of dreams. You see, dreams are not fantasies. They are not delusions. Dreams are the whispers of destiny. They are God's way of showing us glimpses of what's already done in heaven, waiting to manifest here on earth through us. A dream is heaven's blueprint etched into your heart. It's not a random thought. It's not a silly hope. It is sacred evidence, a divine clue. And the moment you honor your dream, you honor the reason you're alive. But let me be real with you. Sometimes dreaming hurts. Sometimes it's lonely. Because the moment you say yes to a dream, you say no to comfort. You say no to the safety of familiarity. You say no to blending in. And there will be days you wonder if you heard wrong. Days when nothing makes sense and you question whether it's worth it. And I want you to know that is part of the process. Don't run from it. It's in the tension where transformation happens. God is not just trying to get you to a destination. He's shaping you to become the person who can steward what He's shown you. And that shaping doesn't feel good. It feels like rejection, like closed doors, like waiting. It feels like being overlooked and underestimated. But don't mislabel the process. What feels like delay is often protection. What feels like silence is often preparation. Your dream is not on life support just because you can't see the fruit yet. Your dream is alive. It's breathing. Even when nothing around you confirms it, it's still moving. Because we serve a God who works behind the scenes. And I know some of you have been carrying a dream for years. You've watered it with tears. You fought battles just to hold on to it. And maybe you feel tired, weary. But here's what I need you to know. God is faithful to finish what He starts. There is something so beautiful about being in the in-between. That place where you've left the old but haven't yet walked into the new. It's sacred ground. It's where trust is built, where intimacy with God deepens, where your faith becomes muscle. And sometimes God will keep you hidden, not because you're being punished, but because He's preserving you, protecting your dream from premature exposure, because He knows that what He's building in you is weighty. And when it's time, the doors that open won't be ones you have to force. So don't despise the small beginnings. Don't curse the quiet seasons. Heaven is always louder than you think. God is orchestrating things that eyes haven't seen and ears haven't heard. He's aligning moments, hearts, rooms you haven't even entered yet. And when you arrive, it'll feel like home, not because it was easy, but because you were faithful. Now I want to talk to the part of you that's scared, the part of you that wonders if you're enough, that thinks you've missed your moment. I want to tell you this: you haven't missed anything that belongs to you. Not one thing. What God has for you is yours, and no one can take it. Not even you, not your mistakes, not your detours, not your doubts. His grace covers every part of your journey. You are not disqualified. And can we talk about fear for a moment? Because fear will try to convince you to play small, to shrink, to settle. But you were never created to live a life that fits into a box. There's a reason you think differently, dream wildly. You're wired for something greater. And that greater isn't just about platforms or titles. It's about purpose. It's about impact. It's about legacy. Your dream isn't just about you. It's about who will be set free when you say yes. Who will find healing because you refuse to give up. Who will believe again because you kept going. There are generations tied to your obedience. So even when it's hard, even when it hurts, keep saying yes. And yes, you'll outgrow some things, some people, some spaces. That's okay. That's necessary. Growth demands release. Don't mourn what God is pruning. Trust the gardener, because sometimes holding on is more dangerous than letting go. If you ever feel like you're walking through fire, don't forget you're not alone in it. God is in the fire with you. And He's not just bringing you out, He's refining you in the process. So when you finally walk into that dream, you'll carry more than a title. You'll carry anointing, authority, wisdom, compassion. You'll walk into rooms not just as someone who made it, but as someone who was made for it. Family, your dream is holy. Treat it as such. Don't compare it. Don't dilute it to make it palatable. Don't shrink it to fit someone else's comforts. Protect it, nurture it, pray over it. Because what you carry is rare. And this world needs what you've been given. So rise up with boldness, with intention, with trust. There's more in you than you've seen. And this right now is not the end of your story. It's just a chapter. A beautiful, stretching, refining chapter. But the pages ahead, they're filled with glory, and it all begins with a dream. So don't stop dreaming. Keep believing. And above all, keep saying yes. Dreams are divine blueprints, not fantasies. When a dream is birthed in your heart, it isn't just a product of your imagination. It's often a whisper from heaven, a glimpse of something greater than you could conjure on your own. Too often, we dismiss our dreams as unrealistic or impossible because they don't fit within the framework of what we've known or seen. But the nature of a dream is that it challenges the boundaries of what's familiar. It pulls you towards something higher, deeper, and more impactful than your current reality. A dream, in its purest form, carries the DNA of purpose. It's not just about ambition or goals. It's about alignment. It's heaven's way of saying, this is what I've placed in you for a reason. And while the dream may be planted in your heart, it comes from the one who sees the full picture. So it's not random. It's not accidental. It's intentional. It's prophetic. And it's always bigger than you. That's why it feels intimidating. That's why it sometimes scares you. Because you were never meant to carry it by your own strength. You were meant to walk it out with God. There's a difference between fantasy and vision. A fantasy is rooted in escapism, but a dream that's divinely inspired, it pulls you closer to your assignment. It refines you. It stretches you. It wakes you up at night and won't let you settle. It convicts you when you're about to compromise. It speaks when you try to forget it. Because the dream isn't just about achieving something, it's about becoming someone. And the truth is, sometimes we feel the weight of a dream before we see its shape. It starts as a deep sense that there's more. You may not have the full details yet. You may not know the when, the where, or the how. But you feel it. You carry. And even when you try to ignore it, it keeps coming back. Because divine dreams don't die easily. They're tied to who you are. That's why the enemy of your soul doesn't just fight you with fear. He fights you with doubt. Because if he can convince you that your dream is just a fantasy, he can rob you of the faith it takes to pursue it. But when you recognize that your dream is a blueprint, a piece of heaven entrusted to you, you begin to treat it differently. You pray over it. You protect it. You walk in obedience, even when it doesn't make sense. Divine dreams carry instruction. They come with seasons of silence and steps of surrender. They require trust, even when the path is unclear. And though they may start in the private places of your heart, they are meant to be manifested in the world through your life. The process of becoming is just as important as the promise. When we receive a dream or a vision, our natural instinct is to focus on the destination. On the moment when everything finally comes together, when the vision is fulfilled and the promise becomes our reality. But what often gets overlooked is the journey it takes to get there, the shaping that happens in the space between the dream and its manifestation. That space, though sometimes filled with waiting, uncertainty, and even pain, is not wasted. It is sacred. God never rushes transformation. He doesn't just care about you arriving. He cares deeply about who you become on the way. Because the person who receives the promise must be strong enough, wise enough, and mature enough to carry it. There are things you have to shed before you can step into what's next. There are things that have to be refined, healed, and matured. And it's in the process that all of this happens. You don't become the version of yourself that the promise requires overnight. It's a journey of surrender, trust, and intentional growth. The process confronts the parts of you that can't go into your next season. It shines a light on your fears, your control, your pride, and your doubts. It humbles you. It teaches you to depend on God, not your gift, not your network, not your talent, but your obedience. And it's in those quiet, often hidden seasons that depth is formed. The kind of depth that sustains you when the dream finally comes to life. Because what's built on hype won't last. But what's built in the fire, what's built through intimacy with God that has weight. Sometimes we think that delay means we're doing something wrong, but often it's the exact opposite. Sometimes delay is proof that God is investing in your character, not punishing you. He's pruning, developing, molding. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it can feel like you're forgotten. But you're not. You're in the workshop. You're being prepared not just to enter rooms, but to have the authority to speak in them. You're being prepared to lead with integrity, to carry the blessing with responsibility, and to represent the one who gave you the dream in the first place. There's something holy about being in process. It's where trust is forged, where your relationship with God becomes personal, not just theoretical. It's where your roots go deep so that when the winds of life blow, you don't fall apart. It's in this place that you become more than someone who has a dream. You become someone who embodies purpose. Someone who doesn't just chase promises, but lives in alignment with the one who gave them. And that alignment, that becoming, it's everything. Delay is not denial. It's often divine protection. It's easy to feel discouraged when time stretches longer than you expected. When the doors you prayed would open remain shut. And the vision you once felt so confident about begins to blur in the waiting. But time does not invalidate the promise. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. And more often than not, the delay isn't a punishment, it's a safeguard. God sees what you can't. He knows the weight of the blessing, the timing of the release, and what's needed to sustain it when it arrives. There's a difference between God saying a no and God saying a not yet. And we live in a culture that's obsessed with speed, quick results, instant gratification, immediate success. But the kingdom of God often moves differently. It moves with purpose, with intention, and with timing that aligns with preparation. When God delays something, it's not because he's forgotten you. It's because he's working on something you don't see yet, either in you, around you, or in the people connected to the dream. Sometimes he's clearing the path. Sometimes he's developing your endurance. And sometimes he's protecting you from things that look good on the surface, but would crush you if given too soon. There are blessings that become burdens when they arrive before their time. And God loves you too much to give you something you're not ready to carry. It's not just about being gifted. It's about being grounded. It's about having the emotional, spiritual, and mental maturity to handle the weight of what you've been praying for. Delay teaches that. It humbles. It strips away pride. It forces us to seek God, not just for the promise, but for the process. And in that place, our trust grows. Not trust in the timing, but trust in the one who holds it. Sometimes the delay is because God is creating a better outcome than you imagined. What you think you're waiting for may only be a fraction of what he intends to give. You may be focused on a door while he's building you a house. You may be reaching for a position while he's calling you to a purpose that breaks chains and shifts atmospheres. And if you rush that, you could miss the magnitude of what he has for you. So what feels like a setback might actually be the setup. What feels like a closed door might be a divine redirection. And what seems like silence might be the stillness before the unveiling. The waiting season is not wasted. It's where strength is renewed. It's where clarity is sharpened. It's where God aligns your steps with his will. So when it finally happens, it's not by accident. It's by design. It arrives in fullness, with favor, and with fruit that lasts. Because when God delays, he's not withholding. He's building. Your dream carries generational impact. Too often, we limit our understanding of dreams to our own personal goals and desires. We think about how achieving our dreams will elevate our status, bring comfort, or fulfill our aspirations. But the reality is that the dreams planted in our hearts are far bigger than our individual lives. They are seeds that have the potential to affect not just our present, but the generations that follow. The true power of a dream is realized when it is seen through the lens of legacy, when we recognize that it's not just about us, but about the impact we have on those who come after us. Every dream has a ripple effect. When you step into your purpose, when you walk in alignment with the dream God has placed within you, you don't just change your life. You change the trajectory of your family, your community, and even the world. What you do today in faith and obedience may open doors for those who haven't even been born yet. You may never meet the people who will benefit from your obedience, but your obedience has a lasting impact. Your dream is not just for you. It's for your children, your grandchildren, and beyond. Think about the way history has been shaped by individuals who dared to dream. Whether it's through scientific breakthroughs, social movements, or the quiet, everyday acts of service, dreams have the power to leave legacies. These legacies don't just manifest in accolades or fame. They manifest in the changed lives of people who were touched by the dream's fruit. It might be a generation that never knew your name, but they're living the freedom or progress that you made possible because you followed your dream. The choices you make today are setting the stage for the future. The wisdom you gain, the battles you fight, the success you achieve, and even the failures you experience all serve as lessons for those who will come after you. Your children and your children's children are watching how you navigate life, how you persevere through challenges, how you trust God in the waiting. They are witnessing the legacy you are creating, whether you realize it or not. But it's not just about biological generations. The impact of your dream is also felt in the spiritual, social, and cultural communities you belong to. Your story is one thread in the tapestry of the larger story God is telling through humanity. Your dream may be the spark that inspires someone else to dream big. It may be the voice of encouragement someone else needs to believe that their dreams are possible too. Your success isn't isolated. It is part of a collective movement that advances the kingdom, that spreads hope, and that empowers others to step into their own calling. When you understand that your dream has generational weight, you begin to walk with a sense of responsibility. You begin to see that your journey isn't just about self-fulfillment, but about stewarding something greater than yourself. The power of your dream is not fully realized until you understand that it transcends your own lifetime. And that in itself should give you the courage to keep going, even when it seems like the dream is taking longer than expected or the obstacles seem insurmountable. You are not just fighting for your own success. You are fighting for a future that is brighter, more just, more compassionate, and more aligned with God's purpose. That's the weight of your dream. That's the power of your legacy. Keep saying yes even when it's hard. The path to fulfilling your dreams is never a straight line. There will be moments when the road ahead feels unclear, the weight of the journey too much to bear, and the temptation to quit will feel overwhelming. It's easy to say yes when everything is going well, when the doors are opening, when progress feels effortless. But the true test of your commitment to your dream comes in the moments when things get tough, when you encounter setbacks, or when everything around you is telling you to give up. Saying yes in those moments isn't just an act of perseverance, it's an act of faith. It's believing that even when things don't make sense, even when your efforts feel futile, God is still working. And it's remembering that your yes isn't just about your ability to press forward, but about your trust in a God who sees the end from the beginning. The strength to keep going in the hard times doesn't come from your own willpower. It comes from knowing that the dream was given to you for a purpose, and that God is faithful to finish what He starts. There will be days when you feel like you're drowning in disappointment, when your energy is drained and your spirit feels heavy. It's in these moments that your commitment to your dream will be tested. But here's the truth. The dream doesn't become real by how smoothly things go. It becomes real because of your willingness to keep saying yes, even when you can't see the outcome. Your yes is an act of resistance to the fear, doubt, and discouragement that the enemy tries to place in your path. Every time you say yes, you declare that you believe in the promise, even when the fulfillment of it seems far away. There will be times when your yes will feel like a sacrifice, when you'll have to let go of things you thought you needed, hold on to. You may have to sacrifice comfort, security, or the approval of others. The people around you might not always understand your journey, and that can be painful. But keep saying yes when it doesn't look like anyone else is walking with you. Keep saying yes when the voices of doubt whisper louder than the promises of God. Keep saying yes when the future feels uncertain and the present feels like you're taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. What you might not realize in the moment is that each yes is a victory in itself. Each moment of perseverance, each act of obedience adds weight to your journey. It's these moments that prepare you for the dreams ahead. And while you may not understand why certain doors close or why things aren't progressing as quickly as you'd hoped, trust that your yes is still aligning you with a greater purpose. Every step of obedience, no matter how small, is a step closer to the manifestation of what God has promised. Keep saying yes, not because it's easy, but because you know the one who called you is faithful. And when you say yes, you declare that you trust his timing, his wisdom, and his plan. Keep saying yes in the hard moments, in the waiting, in the uncertainty. Your yes today is the seed for the breakthrough tomorrow. The journey of pursuing a dream is a sacred one, marked by both highs and lows, victories and defeats, clarity and confusion. However, it is in the midst of the challenges and the waiting that you are shaped into the person who can carry the weight of the dream. Each of us has been uniquely designed with a purpose, and that purpose is tied to the dreams that reside deep within our hearts. These dreams are not random. They are divine blueprints, carefully placed there by a creator who has a plan far bigger than anything we can imagine. Throughout this journey, there will be moments where it feels like everything is against you. There will be seasons of silence when the answers you seek seem elusive, and times when the road ahead looks unclear. But it is during these seasons that your character is built. The promise that God has placed on your life will not only take you to new heights, it will refine you, strengthen you, and transform you into someone capable of stewarding the very dream He has given you. As you walk this path, always remember that the process is just as important as the promise. Every step, every setback, every triumph, and every moment of waiting is a part of a greater story being woven in your life. It's in the tension of uncertainty that you are becoming someone new, someone who can hold the dream with wisdom, grace, and humility. The dream may not manifest overnight, but that is not a sign of failure. Rather, it's a sign that God is preparing you for something even greater than you can see. The longer you stay faithful, the stronger your foundation will be when the dream finally takes shape. And let's not forget that your dream carries generational impact. The choices you make, the faith you live, and the steps you take today have the power to influence not only your life, but the lives of those who will come after you. Your dream is not just about you. It's about the legacy you will leave behind. It is about breaking chains, building bridges, and creating opportunities for others to rise. Every action you take, every yes you give, ripples outward, affecting future generations in ways you may never fully comprehend. When you say yes to your dream, even in the face of adversity, you are stepping into your God-given destiny. Every yes is an act of faith, a declaration that you trust in the one who has called you. It is through your perseverance, your obedience, and your unwavering trust that the dream becomes reality. And as you continue to say yes, even when it's hard, you align yourself with the divine purpose for which you were created. So never underestimate the power of your dreams. Never forget that they are not just figments of your imagination, but whispers of destiny. Keep believing in them, keep nurturing them, and keep moving forward with unwavering faith. The road may be tough, but with every step you take in faith, you are walking closer to the fulfillment of a purpose far greater than yourself. Your dream is not only possible, it is already in motion. And it is waiting for you to step into it fully.